The sudden departure emerges empire. For thousands of years, humanity was the heart of the galaxy. They didn't just survive. They led. Humans built powerful cities on distant planets, helped new civilizations grow, and kept peace across thousands of star systems. Whenever there was war, humans stopped it. Whenever there was disease, they found the cure. Other species respected them. Some feared them. But all accepted one truth: the galaxy was safer because of humanity. Then, one day, they disappeared. No warning, no message, no goodbye. Their ships vanished. Their stations shut down. Their embassies on alien worlds went dark. Entire human colonies turned silent, like ghosts. One by one, their borders closed. Satellites stopped transmitting. People waited for a sign, a reason, anything. But nothing came. The Galactic Council gathered quickly. Leaders of powerful alien races, the Siraki, the Vern, the Drakari, met to discuss the crisis. Some believed humans were planning something. Others thought it was a trick. A few believed they had found something, or someone, that made them leave. But no answers came, only silence. At first, the galaxy tried to move on. Trade continued. Alliances remained. But slowly, cracks began to appear. The Zorax Empire, once afraid of human strength, started taking small planets by force. The peaceful Liari species, once protected by human patrols, were now easy targets for pirates. Space lanes, once guarded by human fleets, became dangerous. Trade routes were attacked. Colonies burned. Human technology, once shared with care, was now being stolen and sold. The balance was gone. Without humans, power shifted fast. On the edge of the galaxy, a new empire began to rise. A race called the Xarn Dominion, once weak, started building warships using stolen human tech. They declared themselves the rightful rulers of the outer systems. Their leader, Lord Krillon, claimed the humans abandoned the galaxy because they were afraid. They left because they knew we were coming, he said. The future belongs to the Xarn. Many believed him, but not all. One alien, a young historian named Valor from the planet Myros, didn't believe humanity left because of fear. He had studied their history, their victories, their sacrifices. Humans didn't run. They always stood and fought. So why did they leave? Valor traveled to old human worlds, now empty and covered in dust. He explored silent stations, once full of life, now cold and broken. He found nothing, until he reached an old space relay near the edge of human territory. Inside, deep in the control room, Valor discovered a signal. It was weak, broken, and almost lost in the noise of space. But he fixed the machine and played the message. It was a human voice, calm, deep, tired. We are sorry. We tried to stop it, but it is not from this galaxy. It is older than light. We leave not to escape, but to face it where it sleeps. You are not ready. Stay united. Stay strong. One day, we may return. Valor's heart pounded. He downloaded the message and sat in silence, staring out the window at the stars. Something was coming. Something big enough to make even humans walk away from everything they built. He returned to the council and shared the message. They laughed, called it fake, said it was human drama. But Valor knew. The galaxy was standing on the edge of something dark, and without humanity, it might fall. Weeks later, strange readings began to appear on the outer rim. Entire star systems disappearing, not exploding, not burning, just gone. Valor looked at the stars, afraid. He remembered the message. It is not from this galaxy. It is older than light. As the galaxy fell into arguments, wars, and fear, a silent empire began to rise in the shadows. And the real threat was still waiting. The balance breaks. The galaxy didn't listen to Valor. The leaders of powerful empires said the human message was fake. Others said it was too late to worry about the past. All of them were too busy fighting for power, land, and control. Without humans, there was no peacekeeper, no strong voice to bring the council together. The unity that once held the galaxy like glue was now cracking apart. The Xarn Dominion moved fast. Using stolen human blueprints, they built warships faster than anyone had seen before. They took over weak systems one after another. Lord Krellin stood in front of a giant crowd on the planet Calm and shouted, "The humans left because they knew their time was over. Now we rise." Other races, desperate to survive, joined the Xarn. Not because they believed, but because they were afraid. They thought that Xarn might be the next rulers of the galaxy. Pirate groups like the Black Flame Syndicate began attacking old human routes, stealing what was left. Peaceful colonies were raided, people kidnapped, stations destroyed. No one stopped them. On the planet Tyran, once a major trade hub protected by human fleets, the sky burned red. 3 warlords fought over the city for control. By nightfall, millions were dead, and there was no one left to help. The Laari, a peaceful and artistic species, tried to escape the violence by hiding on their forest world. But the forest burned when mercenaries came looking for ancient human tech buried under the soil. Velar watched all of this unfold. He recorded everything, wrote it down, spoke on small news channels, tried to warn people. But his voice was too small, and fear was louder. One day, Velar received a hidden message from a mysterious contact. It was a short recording, a camera feed from an old human science ship deep in the void. The video showed something impossible. A black hole, moving. It wasn't natural. It was alive, and it was eating entire systems. Velar stared at the screen. "Is this what they went to fight?" he whispered. The file was marked Project Dark Silence. No one had ever heard of it. Velar searched secret archives, old human signals, even ruins on dead planets. He found pieces of the puzzle. Humans had discovered an ancient enemy, something from outside the galaxy. Not life, not machine, something different. They called it the Devourer Beyond. Humans didn't run away. They left to face it, and they knew the galaxy wasn't ready. Velar realized the truth. Without humanity, the galaxy wasn't just unprotected. It was exposed. He tried to speak again to the council. This time, only a few listened. One was Commander Threx, a former soldier who fought beside humans in past wars. He believed Velar, but he had no fleet, no army, no power. "We need unity," Threx said, "or we die alone." But it was too late. Velar's homeworld, Myros, was attacked next, not by pirates, not by the Xarn, but by something unseen. The stars above the planet flickered, then went out. The sky turned black, cold, silent. Ships vanished without a trace. Buildings collapsed. No sounds, no signals, just silence. Velar barely escaped in a small shuttle, recording everything. He sent out a final message to the galaxy. "It's real. The darkness is here, and we are not ready." But the empires kept fighting. The balance was broken, and something was feeding on the chaos. The hidden threat. Velar floated alone in his small ship, drifting far from any safe system. Behind him, his homeworld Myros was gone, not destroyed, but erased. Not even ash remained. He played the signal again. The whisper. "We are hungry." The voice didn't sound alive. It didn't sound like anything from this galaxy. He knew now. The humans were right. Something ancient, something beyond understanding, had entered their galaxy, and it was hunting. Velar sent warnings across every open channel. He shared the video of the moving black hole, the destruction of Myros, and the whispers in the dark. But most races were still too busy fighting. The Xarn Dominion called it human fear propaganda. Lord Krellin laughed on live broadcast. "Ghost stories won't stop our rise. We are the future." But in the following weeks, strange things began happening. A fleet of Tarn ships vanished near the edge of the void sector. Their last message was full of static and screaming. A mining station orbiting a neutron star went dark. When a rescue team arrived, the walls were covered in claw marks, but there were no bodies, no air, no answers. Even the pirates began to whisper about something they called the Hollow Ones. Wheeler traced the origin of the human signal to a deep space archive called Relay Station Orion 9, a human facility built into an asteroid far outside normal space lanes. No one had visited it in years. He set course for it alone. The journey took days, through abandoned systems and dead space. As he neared the relay, the stars around him began to dim, not like nightfall, but like someone was slowly turning off the sky. He docked in silence. Inside, the station was dark, cold, untouched since the humans had left. Dust floated in the air. Control panels were cracked, doors frozen, but the core was still active. Wheeler entered the control room and activated the logs. Thousands of messages appeared, warnings, battle reports, scientific scans. Humans had spent years watching the enemy beyond the stars. They called it the eternal hunger, a force, not a species, something that moved between galaxies, feeding on light, energy, life, thought. They discovered it too late. It had no ships, no planets, no armies. It was the army, a living storm, a hunger so old it remembered the birth of stars. One human scientist's log stood out. We tried to stop it. We tried to warn them. But they argued. They fought. Just like now. We don't think we can defeat it. Only delay it. Wheeler's hands shook. He had to do something. But who would listen? He downloaded the full archive and left. As he undocked, the lights on the relay flickered. He looked back. The station was no longer alone. Something massive drifted behind it, silent, shapeless, like a dark cloud of smoke and stars. It didn't move like a ship. It pulsed, like a heartbeat made of shadows. Wheeler hit full speed. The station behind him was swallowed. Not exploded, not crushed. Just gone. He didn't look back again. Meanwhile, far away, deep in a council meeting bunker, Commander Threx received Wheeler's transmission. He watched the footage. He heard the human message. And he knew the time for talking was over. He gathered the last few leaders who still believed. We need to find them. Threx said, we need the humans back. But they're gone, someone replied. Threx stared at the stars on the hologram map. Then we follow their trail. The desperate search. The galaxy was slipping into darkness. Worlds kept vanishing. Not destroyed, just gone. Lights blinked out on the star maps like dying candles. Whole systems erased from memory as if they never existed. People were afraid, not of war, not of the Xarn Dominion, but of something no one could see. Whispers grew louder in deep space, whispers of the hollow fleet, ships made of shadow, moving without sound, devouring light wherever they passed. Some said they saw faces in the dark. Others said they heard voices calling their names. Commander Threx had seen enough. He gathered a small team of pilots, engineers, and old veterans, those who once served beside humans during the War of Nine Suns. They didn't need proof. They believed the truth. Only humanity could stop what was coming. Wheeler joined them, carrying the ancient human data he recovered from Relay Station Orion 9. It had maps, coordinates, and fragments of a secret plan called Project Solstice. They followed the trail. Their journey took them through forgotten wormholes, ruined stations, and human tech graveyards. They traveled deeper and deeper into the dead zones, areas where stars no longer shined and time felt wrong. In one system, they found a lone human satellite still active. It had one job: to repeat a message every 47 seconds. If you seek the last light, follow the silence. Wheeler stared at the screen. What does it mean? Threx answered, It means keep going. And so they did. Days passed, then weeks. Fuel was low. Crew members grew tired. Some wanted to turn back. Others spoke of strange dreams. Dreams of black oceans, giant eyes, and voices that whispered in dead languages. One night, the ship passed through a nebula. Inside, they found something impossible. A space station orbiting a dead star. The station was human, but newer, not abandoned. It was alive. Lights glowed. Systems were active. But there were no life signs. Threx ordered a team to dock. Inside, they found it empty, but clean. No dust, no damage, like someone had just left it. Velar accessed the main terminal. A human eye appeared, a hologram in the shape of a woman. "Identify yourself," the AI said. Velar stepped forward. "My name is Velar. I come seeking the truth and help." The AI studied him, then said something unexpected. "You are the first to arrive. We did not expect it to be you." Velar asked, "Where are the humans?" The AI paused, then answered, "They are not here. Not anymore. They have crossed the edge of the galaxy, beyond the dark. They are fighting. But time moves differently where they went. To reach them, you must find the Sol Gate." "What is the Sol Gate?" Threx asked. The AI replied, "A bridge between galaxies, built in secret, hidden from the hunger. It is the last hope, but it will not open for just anyone." Then the AI showed them a star map, coordinates in the farthest part of the known universe, near a region called the Dead Halo. But there was a warning. "The hunger watches the path. If you go, it will follow." Velar looked at Threx. He didn't have to say anything. They both knew the choice was made. The search wasn't over. It had only just begun. The fall begins. The galaxy was bleeding. World after world began to vanish. No warnings, no survivors, just silence. The stars themselves began to dim. Entire systems faded from star maps. It wasn't war. It wasn't invasion. It was consumption. The enemy, known only as the eternal hunger, was no longer hiding. It had followed Velar and Commander Threx's crew ever since they left the hidden station. It didn't chase them. It didn't speak. It just moved. Slow, silent, unstoppable. Behind it, emptiness grew. Planets crumbled into dust. Energy drained from suns. Time itself bent. Ships nearby found their clocks broken. Minutes became hours. Days vanished in seconds. In the center of it all, the once mighty Xarn Dominion prepared for war. Lord Krulon refused to believe in myths. He launched his full armada, over 3,000 warships, toward the dark sector where the hunger had appeared. His final message was filled with pride. "Let the galaxy witness the power of the Xarn. We will crush this shadow and claim the stars forever." They never came back. Not one ship, not one signal, just silence. The Xarn homeworld fell 2 days later. It didn't burn. It didn't explode. It simply ceased. Gone from memory, erased from records. People across the galaxy forgot it even existed, like it was never there. Velar felt it in his bones. This was not just death. This was unmaking. The Galactic Council, what was left of it, collapsed. Members blamed each other. Some fled. Some begged for peace. Others went mad, claiming the stars were whispering to them. Even pirate kings and warlords dropped their weapons and ran. Fear was everywhere. In a small underground chamber on the mining planet Trilon, a group of children stared at the sky as the stars blinked out one by one. One of them asked their teacher, "Why are the lights dying?" The teacher had no answer, only tears. Far from the chaos, Velar, Threx, and their team reached the edge of the Dead Halo. There, hidden within the ruins of a collapsed dwarf star, they found it. The Sol Gate. Massive, silent, dormant, a ring the size of a moon, made of ancient human alloys that glowed softly in the dark. Strange symbols covered its surface. Time felt slower near it, like the galaxy held its breath. "This is it," Velar whispered, "the bridge to where they went." Threx approached the console. "How do we open it?" The AI from the previous station appeared again, flickering in static. "Only one signal can activate the gate," she said. "A human signal. A voice born of Earth." Everyone went silent. No humans remained. Or so they thought. Just then, one of the crew members stepped forward. She was quiet, young, an engineer named Lyra. She'd been adopted by a Sireki family as a child. No one ever asked where she came from. She placed her hand on the console. It lit up. Velar's eyes widened. "You're human," she nodded slowly. "My parents told me to hide who I was. After they disappeared, I thought I was the last." The gate began to glow. Rains of light spun around it, forming a swirling tunnel of energy. The stars around them flickered again. Something massive was approaching. The hunger had found them. But this time, they had a way out. The return of humanity. The soul gate opened like a star being born. Light flooded the void. A swirling tunnel of energy spun faster and faster, shaking nearby ships. The blackness around the dead halo seemed to pull away, as if the darkness itself feared what was coming. Velar stood at the window, staring into the gate. His heart pounded. From deep within the gateway, they came. First one ship, then 10, then hundreds. Massive human warships, black, silver, and glowing with blue light, emerged from the rift like giants returning from a long sleep. Their designs were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Sleek, silent, unbelievably advanced. The largest one, shaped like a blade and bigger than a moon, transmitted a signal. "This is the ESS Dauntless, Fleet Command. Identify yourself." Commander Threx stepped forward. "This is Threx of the Remnant Alliance. We found your gate. The galaxy needs you." Silence. Then a voice replied, calm, cold, and full of weight. "We know. Stand back." Across the stars, the hunger arrived. A storm of darkness moving like liquid space, swallowing planets, ships, even light itself. It turned suns into shadows and pulled energy from the core of stars. But this time, humanity was waiting. The human fleet moved without fear. Their ships didn't fire ordinary weapons. Instead, they used energy that bent gravity, beams that cut space itself, shields made of light and sound. The first wave of the hunger was wiped out in seconds. But more kept coming. Velar watched from a safe orbit, his eyes wide. "They're not just soldiers anymore," he whispered. "They've become something more." Lyra, the hidden human engineer, nodded. "They've been fighting this thing outside time. They didn't just survive. They adapted." On every channel, the message spread. Humanity has returned. The final battle began near the Cradle Nebula, once home to 10 thriving civilizations. Now, it was a feeding ground for the hunger. The human fleet formed a massive ring, channeling energy through a system of connected ships. In the center, the Dauntless prepared a final strike. Velar watched the feed. The captain of the Dauntless appeared on screen, a woman with gray eyes and a voice like thunder. "You left the galaxy in darkness. We returned to bring back the light." She raised her hand. The fleet fired. Not a weapon, not a missile. A ripple, a tear through space itself. The hunger screamed, not in sound, but in thought. Everyone across the galaxy heard it in their minds, like a dying god. Then silence. Real, perfect silence. The darkness was gone. The galaxy was broken, but alive. Cities in ruins, councils shattered, but life remained. And now, there was hope. The human fleet didn't stay long. They landed only on a few worlds. They spoke to only a few leaders. Their message was short and clear. "We cannot stay. The enemy may return. You must be ready next time. Do not depend on us. Stand together or fall apart." Then they left, vanishing into the Soul Gate once more. Vaylor stood beneath the stars, the sky clear for the first time in months. Beside him, Lyra looked up and whispered, "They saved us, but they won't always be here." Vaylor nodded. That's the lesson. The galaxy must learn to save itself. Above them, one human ship remained for a moment longer. Then, like a falling star, it disappeared.